All right. Welcome, welcome all. Welcome all. So we are here now live with the winner of this year's, last box cut intercol, which was last year, was held last year. We have Amir Ali and his other teammate who's having some technical issues right now. So what we're going to be doing, Emir, is very relaxed. We just want to get your feeling. I mean, you won the
Mm,
overall prize. You came in at the top with both your portfolio as well as racing, which is very outstanding. Normally, you'll find where a portfolio comes in pretty high,
mm.
and they just kind of get through with the racing. But you did well on both camps. Tell us a little bit about what that experience was like for you.
Honestly, for the first time when I participated, honestly, it was pretty nervous because I wasn't too sure of the competition the first time around.
Hmm.
Second time participating, I was still a little nervous as well because I will admit, a lot of the races this year were really close, the
Hmm.
times. And I was really glad to see that, it felt more competitive this year, more lively. Um, Honestly, I really enjoy this competition a lot because for me, this competition not only helps me express, my passion, which is engineering. It shows where the theory you would be learning in school, where some kids would be, okay, so I'm learning this in class. Well, how can I apply this to the real world? This
Right.
competition shows you how you can apply this and, what the principles actually mean.
So I have to say that you're one of the smallest teams. Was that by design, Amir? I see Naveen
Um,
is back in.
Yeah, I mean, it was and it wasn't. The first year around, some of the other teams they kind of, I want to say, looked down on me a little bit because I'm younger, so they wouldn't really have high expectations that well, at that time I was in Form Three, that a Form Three could have done what what's supposed to be a more higher form targeted project. But coming into this year, I actually worked with the other teams because, well, when I say worked with them, I assisted them in what I could have. Was able to advise them to the best of my knowledge. Um, we kept our team relatively small because not only were we comfortable with each other as well, working together. The other guys, they wanted to start the project from scratch, get like a full feel because we already experienced it the first year. They would have wanted to build their own cart based on how they would have wanted.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it
So
was.
talking a little bit, I have to mention this because we
Mm,
had a strong representation from Presentation College, um, this last competition,
yeah.
and you actually took on some six formers, people that are like what 4 or 5 years your senior.
Yeah. We had one
What is
form
that
guy.
playing off like in press right now? How them guys
Um,
taking that?
I mean, I haven't gotten to talk to them much, but we'll say I'm really proud of them all, and we're all proud of each other. At the end of the day, we all came out, we worked together, we challenged through the ups and downs, some tire punctures, etc.
Mm,
We were able to combine all of our skills together on the day itself, and it was really good because I mean, last year it was still lovely, but I feel like this year the brotherhood actually stood out with
right.
all of the teams.
So despite the fact you're competing against each other, there still
Hmm.
was a camaraderie on the day, which is excellent. Naveen, jump in a little bit and tell us a little bit what this experience meant to you. What was it like for you?
All right. Well, to be fair, I mean, whilst the competition definitely does cater to a lot of engineering, this year, with the introduction of the business section, at least in the way that it is, in the capacity that it is, I think that it was something that I could have participated in as well, considering that I am a business student and I really like being able to work with my very good friend Amir on something like this because, I mean, we have some interests, some things that we have in common, but I like business, whereas Amir likes the sciences, and so this competition allowing us to work together and express our love for both sides of education in this sense. Amir with the engineering and me with the business. For me, I really enjoyed it. Just as Amir, although I did work a little bit more in the background. Um, yeah, I think it was very inclusive this year, especially, and the way it was done as well this year, it seemed almost like professional motorsport at that, which is why our Gravity Max team also tried to emulate a professional motorsport team. And I definitely enjoy trying to take our team, Gravity Max, despite our challenges with the size of our team and the age of myself and Amir, we didn't let those things stop us, and we managed to come back out next year. And yeah, we did it better this time as well, I must say. That's not to toot my own horn, but yeah.
All right, all right. No, there's something to be proud of. It's not about teaching your own horn. I'm curious now, though. I'm sure everybody would want to know the business application. What did you do this time to add value to the team with regard to getting it ready for the Boxcar Tentacle? What was
Okay.
your strategy going in for fundraising, that kind of stuff?
Okay. So just a little recap. Last year, we took a more conventional route where we just built our box cart, and obviously, when we won, we would have been reimbursed for some of the costs and whatnot. But this year, we decided to take a much more professional approach. And me and Amir, we are avid Formula One fans. And so when we were told that we had a business section, and a much bigger business section at that, this year, Amir first came to me and he was like, you know, I like the engineering, but I don't think I alone could do this business section. And how could we really tie in this business section? How could we get the funding? How could we be different than the other teams? And basically, Ami was asking the question, how could we do it better in terms of business and whatnot for this year? And so we look towards Formula One and motorsport, as I mentioned previously, and we looked at how they gathered sponsors. They have sponsorships which can pay for different things, such as team travel or parts on the vehicles. And so what we did is we devised a plan, which would have been described in our portfolio, about going towards these potential sponsors, having meetings, and obviously that would have also tried to bring out a entrepreneurial side to us and creating these business pitches, which we really didn't have much expertise in prior to, which is something I also must say is another excellent thing about this competition, that it definitely helped us in that sense. Um, and so we went out gathering sponsorships, and rather than using the seed money. And by doing that, we were not only able to gather enough money to not just run our team, but we were also including local businesses and giving them exposure. So it wasn't just as though Presentation College Gravity Max was just the only person benefiting here. Our sponsors began benefiting from us advertising for them on our cart. And ultimately, we would have benefited from it as well as our sponsors through our sponsorship acquisition program. And yeah, is
All
there
right,
anything else?
outstanding. Nice. So you had a nice comprehensive push
Yeah.
and organization we've got going forward, and it showed in your portfolio, by the way. So that was very well done. Emir, what's next for Gravity Max? We are working on a surprise, by the way, for this year. We're going to be having the competition a lot earlier, but
Mhm.
and we'll let you know that surprise soon enough. But nonetheless, what's next for Presentation Gravity Max?
Well, with regards to what's next, our cart, the first year we somewhat stuck with the design for this year. We modified the vehicle itself, so better alignment, better brakes, aerodynamic body, as you would have saw this year. That aerodynamic body honestly was our plan for last year, but due to time restraints, we weren't able to achieve that goal. So We implemented stuff that we saw on other cards last year that we took inspiration from and what we would have liked to do as well last year, but due to time restraints couldn't have done. We did that this year. But looking towards the future, we do look to retire this card for what it is. We're looking to start designing as well into but around this time, sometime with this month, we look to start designing new concepts, new ideas based on what we learned over the past 2 years, and how can we make, I wouldn't say a perfect card, but a card that can be very aerodynamic as well as beneficial to all the aspects in this competition.
Mm.
So things like a different body style, experiment with them. Which one would be more aerodynamic? Why would it be more aerodynamic? Why would this body style be less aerodynamic? Which frame would be lighter but also strong enough to take the impact? Because when you go down the ramp and onto the straight, that impact there can shatter some frames depending on the type of material. And we also look at our business ideas. How can we get more sponsors this upcoming year? And that's what we have so far planned. But we do look to come out into 2026 stronger as we are two-time participants of this competition now. So we have learned a lot over the past 2 years because coming into the competition in 2024, which was the first time we participated, we didn't really have any prior experience. So we weren't 100% sure on what we were looking for yet. Coming into
Mm.
the 2025 season, we learned from our mistakes. So with our reaction time, that was something we took into a huge accountability from 2024.
All
How
right.
could we make that reaction time and chop off at least a good amount of time from that?
Nice.
Because even with only a few milliseconds, that few milliseconds adds up in the end.
Outstanding, and I'm sure from what I've seen of your performance from the last two events, you are definitely one to get that. Naveen, closing up a little bit here now, what are your final thoughts? What's next for Naveen with regard to Boxcard Intercol?
Um, well, I must say, I do hope that next year we come out very strong again. I know that I will definitely work with Amir once more, and not just continue this great friendship, but also continue to create that sort of teamwork ethic and that sort of chemistry as a team. I know for sure we'll definitely try our again and come up with some more ideas. And when it comes to the business for 2026, definitely I'd like to implement a lot more accounting into it
Right,
so that we become a little bit more organized when it comes to how we spend. This year we were quite organized. I must say I was really pleased with how we flowed when it came to procurement of different parts for the cart, any sort of upgrades, any equipment that we required, and accounting for the cost of it, making sure that different sponsors were able to cover these costs and making sure that we didn't have any cost overruns. But I really want to take a step further. As me and Amir, we really do admire motorsport. You'll hear me and Amir say this over and over again. I mean, this is Boxcart. It is very similar in that way when it comes to the business, and so we'll definitely try to implement a lot more accounting and marketing in the future. Definitely, I think one of the ideas that we didn't necessarily get to execute this year would have been a little bit of social media and maybe even some team uniforms. And you may ask, well, why could this have been beneficial? Well, of course, brand exposure, which we know would ultimately be very beneficial to our sponsors. They're not just going to want to throw money at us and just be like, here, you boys, you all are participating here. Look, there's some money. The
excellent,
whole,
excellent.
yeah, the whole
Nice,
aim is really, sorry.
nice, nice. I like that. I like that. That point you raised there because that now brings me to a very important part from our camp, which is to thank our existing sponsors who are making this possible. We can't. This would not have been possible without Gatorade. Coming on board and making sure we were all hydrated and doing well on the day. Even though I know Emir missed that opportunity to be hydrated, right? But nonetheless, everything worked out well. Gatorade was in there, Blue Waters was there as well, making sure we are all hydrated and doing well. We have to also say a very uh, heartfelt thank you for both ministries, Ministry of Sport and Ministry of Education, who have always endorsed and supported us with this campaign to engage the youths, and of course Capacity Network giving us support again with the video strategies, planning going forward. That's all around support, you know. Maverick Flight Studios jumped on board this time around and gave us a pro bono of some of the aerial footage. So we definitely hope that we'll get more sponsors like this. But again, we want to say a very heartfelt and almost emotional thank you to our sponsors. Yeah, Gatorade, Blue Waters, Ministry of Sport, Ministry of Education, and of course, Capacity. And these are sponsors. But now we also have big news with MIC as a partner, not necessarily a sponsor. You know, part of the surprise we're working on right now is that MIC offered it this time around, and they're putting things in place to make it more official, where they will give support at all their centers to be able, anybody who's building a bus card can go to the center closest to them that have the resources, and they will have instructional guidance to build a safe, strong box card. They're not going to do it for you, they're not going to give you the answers, but they will support you in your efforts. So again, partnering with MIC going forward, I can see us only growing this thing better, and hopefully make your competition, because it's all about you guys, your competition are better and more exciting competition. Yeah, we're about to wrap up. Any final words in closing? Let's go with Naveen. Any final words with closing?
Um, I mean, what more can I say? It was from the start. It was a little bit nerve wracking because we really wanted to bring back home that title to Presentation College Chigonas. I'm glad we did. Maybe it didn't play out the way we exactly would have wanted it to, but all is well now, and I'm very glad with the results and whatnot. And I think the competition could only go up from here.
Excellent. Amir.
I mean, I must say, I'm really excited for this upcoming season as well. Look forward to it. Like I said, this competition is something I've been looking forward to since the first time I participated. I know Naveen and I, this is a way for us to, both show our strengths, with me with my engineering, him with his business sector, This year, it definitely showed us how the competition could be more diverse and cater towards the different types of students, because I remember the first year, from Pres at least, I didn't see much students, hardly any business students actually participating. But this year, with the Form 5s, I saw a lot more students who actually do business subjects actually get to participate this year and actually show their strengths. And I was really glad to see that. And like I always say, the brotherhood, the friendships that we formed through this competition, um, honestly, amazing friendships that were formed, and the teamwork. I hope for it to grow in the upcoming years, and I also hope to see that the younger students within schools, try their hand at participating as well. I mean, honestly, it might seem a little nerve wracking as a really younger student participating, but once you actually try it out, and you'll actually see how much fun it can be, no matter your age. Age shouldn't be a big determining factor of what you can do.
Nice. Outstanding. Thanks again, everyone, for coming in and sharing. Congratulations again for being the number one team, the highest scoring team in the 2025 Box Cart Intercol. Sponsored by Gatorade, Blue Waters. Supported by Ministry of Education, Ministry of Sport of Trinidad Tobago. And partnering with us, MICIT. Thanks again, everybody. Keep safe. And remember, especially this one I trained for Amir, stay hydrated in the hot sun, brother. Yeah.
I will do.
Stay hydrated. All right, guys. Looking forward to seeing you in the next competition.
Look forward to seeing you as well.
Yeah, man. Later.
All right.
And I think